We have an unconditional promise to pay and an unconditional order to pay, right? So if you ask what's in your wallet, right? What's in your wallet is a Federal Reserve note. The word note is used to describe a promissory note. That would be the one end of the conversation, because we have two ends. We have the unconditional promise and the unconditional order. So which one would a note be? It would be the unconditional promise to pay, right? And we can see more information about that, let's say, for example, in UCC 9-307. Because if a Federal Reserve note is an unconditional promise to pay, that means that there's two parties on the note. There's the debtor and there's the creditor, right? So UCC 9-307 gives you all the information about the debtor on the Federal Reserve note, right? And if you scroll down, it gives you some information about the debtor. And one of the most shocking pieces of information about the debtor is the subsection H. Location of United States. The United States is located in the District of Columbia, right? So you find out that it's actually just a negotiable instrument. The debtor is United States, and the United States is located in the District of Columbia, right? So Federal Reserve notes are basically, and if we go to my website and we go to the case law resource page and we type in Federal Reserve, we can see what the Ninth Circuit says about the Federal Reserve. This is a case called John L. Lewis versus United States of America. It's from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals from 1982. The Honorable Justice in that case says, examining the organization and function of the Federal Reserve banks and applying the relevant factors, we conclude that the reserve banks are not federal instrumentalities for purposes of the Federal Tort Claims Act, but are independent, privately owned, and locally controlled corporations. So we already know we have, on a Federal Reserve note, we have two parties. One party is an independent, privately owned, and locally controlled corporation called Federal Reserve, which is not federal at all, because if it was federal, if it was a federal agency, it would fall under the FTCA.